Hello and welcome guys, Sir Jumpleface here, and today's video we are looking back at No Man's Sky. Now sorry if my voice is a bit off. The reason I haven't made a few videos is because I've been sick. I still am a bit sick at the moment. Getting severely bad headaches for the past week or so, yeah, my head hasn't always been in the right place to make much videos. So today we are talking about No Man's Sky, and yes, it was a very bad game on release. Unfortunately, it really needed something better than what it had, and a lot of people were disappointed by what was in the game and what was advertised for the game, and what eventually became the game was nothing like what any of us were expecting. So the main thing we've got to take out of this is, what have they done to improve it? Well, the new systems in it, as you can see, is a blueprint vendor here, where you can swap nano, I think it's like nano bundles or nano something. Let me just find out what it is on here. It's, this guy takes away nano clusters, that's it. Nano clusters, and you swap them for blueprints, and these blueprints allow you to be able to craft stuff which should improve your weapon, and all different sorts of stuff. So instead of getting blueprints and equipment from drops you used to find on crash sort of pods, you now find them through swapping them through nano crates or nano clusters. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's still quite fun to play. The game is when it comes to the exploration. Now when people say exploration, there's not much to it. Nearly every planet's the same. The space battles have now actually been a bit more tweaked, so a bit more fun to them. But still, there's still a few small ships. When I was expecting space battles, I was on about frigates, like big old frigates, actual big ships versus big ships, and explosions and shit like that. I mean, it's got a bit better, but we still haven't got the space battles that we were initially promised. Now, there is another update coming. It's predicted to come on the 9th of August, because that's the anniversary of the No Man's Sky's release. So it's come up to a year, it's nearly up to a year later, and we've seen two huge improvements. So we've got where you can build your own bases. You have your own home planet, and you build your own base in a small area on the planet, and basically it allows you to have a few things like a planet sort of like buggy, which you can use to drive around. I think there's some sort of weird helicopter type thing you can fly around on the planet. All sorts of like cool stuff, like having your own vendor and storage on your own planet, on your base. And you can also walk to that base from any of the star systems you visit, as long as you find a teleporter, which is always in the left room in the space stations. So I think with this game, it's the next update that's going to determine whether it's worth coming back to or not. So I've recently come back to it. I started playing it again just because I put it to myself, I wonder how this is, how well it's doing. So I saved up a lot of money on here. I didn't save up, I looked online how to make a lot of money on here, and as you can see, I've got 16 million, or 17 million, I think I spent a few, basically by trading some cool stuff, and I bought myself this awesome looking ship. I like the hauler ship classes. I think they remind me sort of like a drop ship from Star Wars, it drop the troops off, like the clones off. I always think those ships were awesome. So the good thing about that is the trading what I do always makes me in the millions. It takes about an hour to do, but you get plenty of millions from it. So it means that instead of run around worrying about what's it called, getting plutonium all the time, I can now just use my money. Obviously I pick it up just like then when I see it, but I can also use my money to then just buy plutonium and stop worrying about having to keep buying stuff to recharge my ship. So that's the cool thing about it. Now, what we want to see in the next update. Now we know that teleporters are coming. It's been hinted at massively that the teleporters will be activated in the next update. I can guarantee, I'll put my word on it, the teleporters are coming in the next update. But the only thing I don't think we're going to see is there's a lot of speculation saying it's going to be multiplayer or a form of multiplayer. I don't think you're going to see that in this game. Personally, it doesn't bother me if multiplayer is not added into this game. I never wanted to play this with multiplayer anyway when it was advertised. I was happy with it single player. I was more pissed off about the features, like those giant flying creatures around the planets, the giant fucking snake creatures we saw. And the next update is called, the ARG game, which is alternative reality game, has been, I think they're calling it something Titan. So I'm hoping that name Titan rolls into having the giant snake creatures and stuff like that around. I mean, the biggest creatures I've found have been about the size of my ship so far, so they have improved compared to what they originally were, where before every creature you'd find on the planet would all be sort of general sort of look and general sort of theme to it. And we never saw these brontosauruses that you saw in the trailer or anything like that. I mean, obviously they're not brontos because they're alien type creatures, but they were basically based off of brontosaurus. And you had the rhinos that come smashing through, knocking down trees. It's a real disappointment we didn't get to see that at the start, but I'm hoping that this update now brings that sort of stuff in. That's what I want to see when it comes to exploration. I want to see cool stuff like that, as well as new planet generation, because we know that they've hired on a load of people, took on a load of people to help improve the generation of the planets and everything and the universe. So hopefully now we're going to see a lot more variation in the planet sort of what's it called, in the infrastructure and the variations of different planets. And I'm really hoping that the sand planets are going to be in this, because the sand planets with giant snakes, that's the most thing. I mean, I was shit scared of seeing it, but I really wanted to see it inside the game, because I thought that's going to be really cool, because that's going to be a planet I'm going to be shit scared of. And I've just noticed there's flying creatures up here. So maybe actually the flying creatures were added into this update, bigger flying creatures were. So let's go have a look. Let's just go inside my ship to get some more thermal protection. So when it comes to my length of videos, you guys normally know that I don't tend to specify how long a video is going to be, because I tend to go along and see how I do before I start making a video. So this video could stretch out to a fair amount of time, and we're just gonna get this thermal protection up, and we're just gonna have a look at those creatures over there, because I think that maybe they might have improved it already, because I didn't check the last patch notes. I know they added a few new things in, and as you can see, I'm absolutely full of stock. Now these are the things that make you the money. When you ever see these in the store with a golden star, sell these. They sell for a lot of money. It says total value there of, when I go to a full stack, of 137,000, but I can get a lot more. I can get double that when I sell mine, if you sell it to the ones where they're really needed. And half the stores really want those, so always stock up on those. I've got a lot of stuff on here, which I'm going to build a few, when I go back to my base, I'm going to build quite a few tanks, reserve tanks, and I'm going to fill some of my stuff up, because a lot of that stuff I'm holding on just for my base. Now here we go, we've got our heat back up. It seems there's a few large flying creatures over here. I'm going to be quite interested in seeing how they fare, because they seem rather large, but not as large as originally we were supposed to see, because I remember in the trailer they stepped through a teleporter and there was absolutely humongous flying creatures and there was quite a few of them, not just these few here. They're flying everywhere. Now as I keep saying this sort of thing, more of them are popping up, but we need to see this. We need to get up close and see how big they really are. They look flying whales, but how big are they really? That's the main question we need to see, and that's the thing that we need answered, because we don't know how big they really are. We cannot trust sort of the view from down here, so let's get a little bit closer to them. They seem to be quite on the large scale, to be fair. The annoying thing about this, the planet that I'm on, this variation of seeing wavy lines and stuff like that is seen quite often in this game. So the variation of seeing this planet is quite a common planet. So I don't know whether it's because I don't have the next warp ability to go to the blue stars or the red stars, but from what I've gathered, they're all pretty much the same. They do carry roughly the same amount of oh, you can see there's more of them now. Look, they're all starting to appear now. Maybe they have patched it a bit more up, and it is looking at a better creature generation. I've noticed ever since I started playing it again, there's a lot more variation in the creatures, but still not enough to say, hey, this is a completely different new species. They're still very, very common, and I think there's still quite a few things they could do to change it up a little bit. So Now, I think they're a fair size. We can't get close to them because they're quite fast movers. I'm going to see if I can fly a ship close to them so we can get a rough sort of idea of how big they are. So yeah, you know, I'm really happy to see what's going to be in the next update. I really want them to make this game successful, because as much as we want to hate this game, there is a lot of people out there who are excited for this game, and that's the reason there's so much hate for it, because there was so much excitement for it, and when it flopped, people really hated the fact that it wasn't the game they were promised. Now, if they make it the game they were promised, still, I know you felt ripped off, but isn't it worth playing a game that you really wanted to play, the game that you thought was really good? I know you feel ripped off and stuff, but if at the end of the day, I bought mine digital, so you know, I'm the sucker really, because I can't get my money back. Yeah, they're quite large creatures, so yeah, I mean, they're getting better, but they're still not the size that they should be at. So yeah, so as I was saying, as I'm going through this video, as I'm going to say that I think maybe after the next update I'll do another video and just see what or maybe if I've looked at the chain logs, do a video on the change logs and do another video once it's implemented and see if the game is really worth going back to. At the moment it's still the same repetitivism. It's a little bit less repetitive, sorry, and it seems a bit more of a grind added to it again. So having to grind your way to upgrade your base and stuff, but once you've got your base sort of done, it actually kind of makes buying and selling a lot more easier. So it's easier to actually warp from galaxy to galaxy. Well, I say galaxy to galaxy, from solar system to solar system, until you can find the right galaxy, you know, until you get your way to the first galaxy. See, I'm still miles off. I think I was spawned right at the edge of the edge of the edge of the edge of the whole galaxy, of the edge of a fucking solar system. So I think I've warped 50 times and gone for about 10 black holes or more, and I'm still nowhere near the center. So I don't know how many hours of gameplay you need to go to the center, but there needs to be an option where it allows you to go straight to the galaxy or something, because there is a bit too much grinding to go all the way through, or make it a bit more easy to get warp cells, because warp cells, you know, they take ages to get, and they need a lot of Phanium, and Phanium is a bit of a pain in the arse thing to get. I know you can get them from meteorites, but you're building up half your stock with iron when you're shooting all these meteorites. I think the funniest thing I find about the game now actually is joining in some of those space battles, and sometimes actually going against the good guys. It lowers your standing, but going against the good guys is more of a challenge, and upgrading your ship to take on that challenge is pretty fun. You generally tend to die. I generally tend to still die going up against the good guys, but I've survived a few times, and even if you do die, as long as you've took enough stock, you can just go back and get all that, because you can just go pick it up after you die. So I think this game has shown a lot of promise, and I'm really hoping that it really does change into the game that we all wanted it to be. So what are your thoughts on No Man's Sky? Let me know below in the comments. Let me know if you'll go back to it, if they upgrade it to the point where it will be, because, you know, I like to get discussion going, and I want to thank everyone who stayed subscribed. And I know I haven't done a video in quite a while. I will be making more videos again. As I said, I can't explain all my sickness, but I've been sick. I've been getting a lot of headaches, and it's hard to produce anything when you get, you know, or to even record and have my brain working when I get a headache. I seem to get them quite bad. So let me know what you guys think of, you know, of No Man's Sky, really, with the next update, if you'll go to it. I mean, really, this discussion doesn't really need to start until what they show in the next update. I mean, if you're holding if you're holding your thoughts until the next update, then that's what I highly recommend you do. Let's see what they are planning on doing, because it's called a Titan, something to do with Titan. I think I had it on here before. If I can find it on here, Waking Titan. That's it, Waking Titan. So even if it's got Titanic, as I said, the Titanic creatures sort of thing, like, I want to see massive fuck off creatures on the screen. I'm really excited for it, for once, you know, because they have shown that they're trying to improve the game. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt just one more time. Just one more time, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, I can't say this is the best game in the world, but I think when I bought it, I got trapped by the hype system, but I know deep down inside I knew what it was going to be. I knew it was going to be one of these type of grindy games like this. So I'm not, you know, I'm not badly affected as a lot of you were when it came to the false promises, because I knew that these guys were indie developers. They weren't producing as big as a thing as they were showing. I knew they'd be rushed out. I knew it'd be rushed out. I don't think it's necessarily Hello Games' fault, to be honest with you, because I think here's my thought, and I don't think they'll admit it because obviously the deals they've got. I think initially they were making it just for PC, and they were forced by the consoles to try and, they said they'd make it for consoles, but then Sony done a contract or something and try to push it out. And obviously if they pushed it out on console for PC players would have up in a roar, and it wouldn't have been quite as good. See, I think it's the fault of the consoles. You can see I'm playing on console now. I am a console player over PC, and I do think it's, when I say the consoles, I don't know about console players. I'm on about the big guys at the publishing areas who say, oh, we've got to get this game up by then. No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in release dates. I don't, because I mean, I'd rather have a good finished game than a one which comes quicker to me. I mean, we all love games coming to us as quick as possible. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, you risk a lot to get a game, you know, so far from what it's supposed to be. So with this game, you know, I think this one, let's give it a benefit of the doubt. Let's see what the next update is, because it's giving them an extra year of development, and obviously half that was fixing the bugs, which would have been part of the development as well. So let's see what they're doing with this next update, because with this next update, it's supposed to be huge. Okay, it's supposed to be the biggest update they've done yet so far, and the updates haven't exactly been small if they've done so far. So, you know, it's going to be, I think we could see a chance of them redeeming themselves. Sorry, I would like for them to redeem themselves, because why would I want this game to fail? Because I'm a bit of a dick, but I'm not that much of a dick. But I wouldn't want to see this game fail to expectations of pre-release, would you say? I think my shields need charging as well. So yeah, the next video is going to be a video of me just sort of playing some of this and just talking about it. So I'm going to end this video here, because this one's more of an update to No Man's Sky. See, is it worth playing at the moment? Until the next update, I honestly can't give an honest opinion, but from the updates so far, it's worth going back to have a look at the few things. If you've got it on digital, because it's not a large game on digital, it's only 8 gigabytes. So if you've got 8 gigabytes spare, just pop in, have a look, make your money, have a look, see what you think, and maybe keep it installed just until the next update drops. If it's not to your liking, then delete it. If it is to your liking, then hopefully we'll see a new reformed game. So that's all I've got for you guys. I've been Search on Space. If you want to see another video, hopefully it'll be soon. Just another thing as well, before I do end this video, if anything does seem to disappear or be weird on my channel, someone did try to hack into my email where all of my stuff for my producing of these videos and stuff, is like all my emails and that lot between people, is all kept on there, and someone tried to hack into it. Wasn't a very clever idea. I know exactly that Google have, you know, been very, very helpful, and they've sorted it out and have prevented anyone from looking in and looking at any of my private emails. But you know, if you're hoping that there's any money in this, I don't make any money from YouTube. If whoever, you know, hacks watches me, I don't make any YouTube from here. And I think it's because I've got it as a studios, because I registered it as a studio, because it's all for my YouTube. That one email is, so I just called it a studio. Maybe because I thought maybe I'm an actual studio or something. I don't know. Maybe I thought there's a lot of money running through me, which I wish. I mean, we can all say we're not greedy, and that you know, money, you don't need money, do it for enjoyment. But everybody loves money. It's impossible not to love money. It's what buys you a nice comfy life. So in all way, we're all greedy in our own way. But anyway, so if anything seems up my channel, it means someone probably has ended up hacking into it. If don't know why they want to though. But thank you very much guys for watching. Thank you for the subscribers for staying loyal, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which I'm going to record straight after this. So you'll probably see this planet again, and we'll be playing a bit of No Man's Sky and just seeing how it fares. So thank you very much guys. See you on the next video.